Hello and welcome to the Even Me podcast. This is your host, Morph Speaks,
And your girl Kim.
and we are back. Had some more technical difficulties again, but we are back and we have another topic for this week. Um, so the topic is: do you think all relationships need to go through some type of therapy, whether it be, therapy with a therapist or therapy with a family counselor or something like that? They may be exactly the same, but um, Kim got a lot of information on this, so let's go.
Well, personally, I think really we do need that type of counseling because if you're with someone for so long, they end up changing. You gonna change, right? Your facial, your body appearance change. You change mentally, so therefore you need to just like go to therapy to learn to deal with the new person that you're dealing with. And I know in the Black and Hispanic community we don't need therapy. That's what we always been told.
Mm.
But you do, because you what you feel like in some relationships. I'm not gonna say all. Some relationship you be like, mm, reluctant to bring up things, and maybe in certain certain things you would bring them up in a therapy session, because that'll bring it out. It's a safe space to have that discussion and get that over with. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of time you don't want to say anything because it's a scary topic to talk on. You just sweep it under the rug, a lot of stuff. But once you talk about it, I think that, and then have a referee that's neutral. That's awesome.
Yeah, and we spoke about that before. I mean, this is not a new topic for us about
Hmm.
therapy and things like that. Like you said, in the Black and Latino community, we all feel that therapy is for punks, therapy is for people who um, don't know what the hell to do with their life, but it's not. I mean, people got to understand that therapy is not just for people who are hurting. It's for somebody who's trying to get over certain situations, whether it be physical abuse, mental abuse, or, the death of a close family member, or, dealing with an unruly child, because, dealing with somebody with issues, let's say a relationship, is a whole nother, can of worms, because that person has an issue, they bring the issue to you, that issue burdens you, and starts to affect you, more than you really know it, in any given case, some type of therapy is going to have to happen, because it's going to take a mental toll on you, and you're going to feel a certain way, and every day, it drains you. You can be you don't have to be necessarily drained, physically or mentally, because of, a physical activity, just your brain wondering, your brain, trying to, loss of sleep. We just spoke about that, loss of sleep, because you're constantly trying to deal with situations, and thinking, this is going to happen, this is what happened before, what if this person has someone else, what if, all the wonderings you do, your brain is like an engine. If you don't relax the engine, and give it, some type of treatment, you have to give an engine like oil so it can continue to work, and function correctly. You're not gonna roll it, till the wheels fall off. Your brain has to like chill out. That's what sleep is for. Sleep is to, bring your whole body to like a dormant stage so you can relax and refresh yourself, and wake back up the next day. Right, Kim?
I mean, yes. So definitely, especially raising kids, you need to get a peace of mind and to deal with kids. Sometimes you need therapy for that, because kids is dealing with them now versus our generation is a whole different beast, a whole different ball game. Also, if you're dealing with a relationship and people can't let go of past, yeah, you could say you love me and you care for me, but you're putting me back in the past when we should let that go and move forward. You started bringing up the past. What did what's his name? Rafiki? What's his name from Lion King? The little monkey, and he hit Simba in the head. It's like, oh, that hurt. It's in the past. So, like, you can't do it. You can't change the past. You can only move forward. And if you want to move forward with that person, you have to get therapy for yourself and therapy with that person to work out whatever happened and with the root cause. And I'm starting to see that a lot, because I'm gonna just say me. I in order for me to get new things, I gotta stop going in the same pattern. And I think I go in the pattern because it's comfortable, because it's safe, but it's not healthy. I'm gonna go. I attract the same guys, or I go back to the same guy, and it's not healthy for me. And it's like, to the point you be like, I'm just done, just done, and it's ridiculous. So, um, it's not a healthy, it's not a healthy uh atmosphere, and I like how one of my pastors, associate pastors, said, the man sets the tone, the woman sets the atmosphere. And if his tone is fucked up, how can I set the atmosphere so I'm gonna be messed up? And all this stuff they talking about, happy wife, happy life. No, the man need to be happy too. Because if I'm just
Yep.
happy and he over there got all this anger build up in him, it's just gonna make him eventually unleash it on me a different type of way. So I'm learning that I don't want to deal with that. And especially if people accuse a lot of people of some things that happen, and it's not even true. They brought that up in their mind. They don't want to talk about it because that's what they believe. So therapy helps you get off your chest what you've been through or what you went through with this relationship. And if you really want to make it work, you got to kind of see how can it be fixed.
Yeah, and I mean, to that point, um, like you said, happy life, happy wife, or vice versa, happy wife, happy life. Like you said, it is not. Yes, it's all about the woman you married or your spouse, but also, like you said, it's also the man needs to be happy. So, let's say you're in a situation where the woman does everything the man wants, but then the man was doesn't want to do what the woman wants. To me, I feel that's unfair. It should be mutual. You should want to do what I want to do, and I should want to do what you want to do, at any given time, just to make sure we are both happy, because just doing everything I like will seem, a little one-sided. Doing everything you like when you like it or the way you like it, seems one-sided. Just with the marriage, the relationship, where you go out to eat, where you um how you have sex, how often you have sex, what type of sex, also, how you visit, parents, in-laws, and things like that. Because if it's one-sided, if you want to go to my in-laws house when you feel like it, but when you want to go to your mom's house or your dad's house you feel a certain way, I feel that that's not cool. Because we should want to go to each other's house. Or if you want to go eat Taco Bell today and have mud butt, but but tomorrow you want to eat Whataburger, and I say no, let's not do that. Or the cooking. I've said it in the past. I cook from time to time. I don't like to cook often because I feel in my eyes that when I cook, it doesn't taste right.
Mm.
But when people taste it, they're like, "Oh, it's good." They may be lying. I don't know, but I just feel like when especially like you, good example is when you cook food, you're already full from cooking. You
Mhm.
really don't feel like eating unless you cooked it, you prepared it, 2 hours ago. Then you want to eat and sit down and have dinner with the family. It's
Mhm.
kind of a different situation. But um like I said, that situation is one situation. But then the other situation is, like you said, the you accept me back, but then you decide to throw everything in my face.
Mhm.
And we said this before, because that happened to me. Don't accept me and say you forgive me, but you're not gonna forget everything, because I mean, yeah, you can forget certain things, but don't bring up little things in the past, or treat me a certain type of way because I'm
Mhm.
doing something new, and you're gonna just bring it back up and say, well, you did that with this person, and that's why you want to do that. No, I'm doing that because now I'm accustomed to doing something, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Let people be. If you gonna constantly bring something up, and we don't forget, right? We forgive, but we never forget. That's just human, right? And that's understandably. But if a person decided to move on and they healing themselves from this relationship y'all been through, and you don't want to get therapy, you don't want to fix it, but you want to always, when something is not right, you want to call out that, let
Yeah.
that person be. If that's what you have to go to win an argument or win a fight, let that person move on with their lives, and you move on with yours. And don't try to include nobody in your threesome. And that's the thing of it is, because when you got a good person, you being that it's money, being that it's maybe they take care of the house or whatever it is, you're trying to keep them there. That's not fair to that person. And I'm guilty of that. I ain't gonna lie. I was that type of person. Okay, I know what you have to offer, I see it. So when it was right to me, yeah, I can't deal with all the argument or whatever, but when it's right to me, I'm gonna try to keep you around, because I see that that's my comfort zone. I know that I will be pampered a little bit. But dealing with all the bull crap, I think, I'm not gonna say no relationship needs to end, but it don't need to continue if nobody want to go get help. That's just causing, that's sickness right there. That's mentally draining, and that's all y'all gonna do. You're not gonna get anywhere. You're gonna blame that person gonna blame you. But it's just like, our next part coming up, do we, you know listen to understand, or we listen to respond? And every relationship, I think it was, is listen to respond, never listen to understand. And so I got to the point where I never listened to understand either, because it was always who can get the one up on somebody, who can beat that person to the punch, who can bring up that person past and what they did. So nobody's perfect, and I know I always talked about the broke ducks, and I don't need no more broke ducks. Yeah, I'm gonna find some ducks with some little, he may be slew footed or whatever, but I understand that. But mentally, I'm not willing to deal with that. Is so draining. That's the word. I think mentally and emotionally being drained and abused that way is almost as bad as being physically abused, because your body is tired and the person is not listening and to understand what you're going through, trying to tell them, and you're probably not listening either to understand them. So why not leave that relationship? Or if y'all not gonna get counseling, it ain't gonna do nothing but get worse. And then there becomes cheating. Then there becomes the verbal abuse. It becomes a lot. I'm just saying that I've been experiencing this on and off for 3 years, and it's like, oh my God, just leave me the hell alone, Let me heal me. Like I was going through my purge season. That felt so good because I didn't include nobody else. The whole time people was thinking, oh, you don't want to be in a relationship, you don't want to have sex. No. This is time to purge me, to cleanse all that negative stuff that was put in my head and that I put myself through. I ain't gonna blame nobody, just them alone. I'm blaming myself too. I had to purge through that, just to purge. And as soon as I step out of my little purge, see the bright light, boom, get hit by the broke duck again, and I'm like, oh my God, because he was suited up, but he still had the problems behind it. And yeah, that's why I was like, last night I was thinking about this, and like, people need therapy. They don't know. They need therapy for themselves to fix them, and they need therapy when they get into a relationship. And it may seem crazy, you get in a relationship with a person after 6 months, and that person say, hey, let's go to therapy together and see where we're going in this relationship. I'm not gonna force you, you don't force me. We just gonna see where it goes. We ain't got to bring up our personal issues, but what we do and do not like with each other. Even if it's just, you go into a singles ministry at church and you talking, y'all singles dating or whatever, and you talking to someone at church. You don't have to pay for this 6 months counseling or whatever. But that's just my thing, I've been experiencing, and I'm sick and tired. Like, Jesus, this is so draining because you do want that relationship. I don't know who says that they don't want a relationship. That's not. We was built to be a someone companion, and you want that, but what are you willing to put up with? That's what you asked me before. And I'm not willing to put up with this bullshit. It's bullshit. Excuse my language. I can't put up with it. I can't. It's just it's self-induced stress. There you go. My daughter said that.
So I guess let me read the question since you just threw it out there and then pose it as a question.
Okay. Yes.
So the second part of the podcast is, are you listening to understand or are you listening to respond? And this works in relationships. It works in real life situations. It works, in your professional life, because a lot of time, like you said, people just listening just to respond, give a response, or they're not listening to the full conversation. They're just saying, oh yeah, yeah, they're not really paying attention to like the meat of the issue that that person's trying to tell you. And I'm guilty of that. Sometimes, certain people, like, let's say you already know the answer to like a certain situation. You're already ready to respond. Like, you're waiting for that person to stop talking so you can, respond, because you know what the answer is. That's one situation. But then you have a situation like, let's say, Kim, you come to me and you give me this full-blown 20-minute story, and you're telling me about a situation you had, and I just say, oh yeah, yeah, okay. Basically I just responded to you, show no empathy. I wasn't really paying attention to what you're saying, and I showed you no kind of, good feedback. Now, if you give me a 20-minute story and I listen to what you said and I give you, some good feedback and kind of guide you and give you a response, a resolution, then I was actually listening, to understand what you're saying. If I'm just telling, girl, don't pay attention to that, whatever, I'm just listening to respond. I'm just responding back because you're waiting for a response, you're waiting for an answer, but it may not be the right answer from the correct person. Maybe you're talking to the wrong person, and that happens in relationships. I would say it's mostly men. I'll take the blame for the men right now. Most men will listen to a 40-minute spiel, their spouse or girlfriend or fiance has said, and they're like, oh yeah, I'll take care of it later.
Mhm.
It's that's not what the woman is looking for. They're looking for an answer for every situation they just spoke about. If they said, well, last week you forgot to take out the trash, and this week you forgot to take out the trash, and then today I come home, there's no food. You didn't cook. I've been home all day, or you've been home all day, and I've been out, working. They're looking for a response for each thing. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't take out the trash last week. This week I'll be taking it out. Maybe, I forgot, I overslept, or, whatever, and then that's just one part of the response you need to give them. Now you got to, basically, dissect the situation. Okay, you gave me two situations. I'm going to answer the second one. Hey, sorry, I forgot to cook. I was busy, they won't I'm not going to say it won't happen again, because something's always going to happen again. I'll just do better and make sure that, I plan something or do something the next time. So, like that, you're not coming home at 6, 7 o'clock at night and having to cook for me and you or something. If it's kids involved, then you're gonna do something. A
Mhm.
man or a woman is gonna find something to throw together or go pick up something real quick. If it's just a man and a woman in a relationship and no one else in the home, it's simple stuff. So I mean, that's one situation. So, like, let's say a work situation. You know, when your supervisor or your manager comes to you, it's the same thing. They're looking for, not a response. They're looking for you to be listening, understanding, and making sure you're comprehending what they're saying, so that situation doesn't happen again. Or you take control and you do the, let's say a task, you do the task correctly, and they don't have to reiterate the situation again or tell you the whole backstory to get you to perform, your whatever you're supposed to perform at that time correctly. So I mean, that's professional and personal. But in a relationship, there's other situations. I know, Kim, me and you were talking about it, and I know you said you were guilty of it. I know I've been guilty of it. Certain times, yeah. If someone's nagging, you're gonna get to the point where you're just gonna, yeah, yeah. I mean, at that
Mhm.
point, I get it, because if it's the same situation that's happened for the last 2 to 3 weeks, and it's coming, or it's a situation where this person is a habitual liar, it's coming, you're just gonna say, okay, yeah, yeah, whatever. You say this all the time. I don't care to respond to, a question that I answered 2 weeks ago, and then last week, and then now here again, you're asking the same thing. How do you feel, Kim?
I My thing of it is I always deal with people with substance. I ain't gonna say substance. It's alcohol abuse.
Mm.
And so when you dealing with somebody with dealing with another where something that takes over their mind, you know, you have to endure a lot. And I'm not saying that person is bad, no, just because they have drinks or whatever, and they smoke weed or whatever they do, they're not a bad person. But what they do in turn to you is bad, and I've dealt with that where it becomes repeat type of stuff. And I'm gonna say it again. I always say I never say I'm sorry unless I'm sincerely trying to correct what I've done wrong. I don't like saying sorry because I may end up doing it again. Like I have the issue where I'm supposed to tell a person that, hey, I made it to work, and it'll be on my mind when I'm pulling in to the job, but I'm like trying to get this out. Okay, I got this email just popped up on my phone. Let me go in there and hurry up and answer to this email because I don't want 100 people on it. So I may forget that, and it may come up like I look at my phone 20 minutes later after I got to work. Oh man, I forgot to respond to this person. Hey, I made it to work, forgot to respond. I mean, that's just normal forget. And there you go. When they get a little liquor in them or whatever they little, substitute of liquid courage or weed courage. I don't know what courage. Then they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, you didn't do this and you didn't do this, and I told you I wanted you to do this." Wait, wait, wait. I know it's common courtesy to let you know I made it safely, especially being here in Houston. I know that. I did after everything on my mind. I did eventually say it, so I'm trying to make that change. I'm not gonna apologize for it at all, but because it may happen again. I may walk in the house, run into the restroom, and 10 minutes later let you know I made it home. But people do stuff that benefits them to be able to get their anger off on you. So it could be the simplest thing you do, just because they still got some pent up anger issues, you become their punching bag for them. And I feel like that's another thing. You're not listening. You don't respond to the way of acceptance. You responding to, like, I just went out here and murdered 12 people and sitting on the end of the street eating a lollipop waiting on the police, and you have to come defend me. That's what it seems like. Like I did something so severe that is a problem. So I think relationships should be, to me, I feel like, yeah, we can be serious. We got to take care of the house. But you should be able to laugh. Man, with everything going on in the world today, people health, people killing each other. We don't know if we're going to have a shutdown. The government going to shut down. What's going to happen? Everything that's going on, there should be a point where you just come and laugh and joke. And just have a moment of peace, because there's already peace out there. Just have a moment of peace in your own home. And yeah, so I guess me and a goldfish and a dog together, we can be in peace than me and a man. For right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in a relationship that was an issue. Because I mean, some people don't understand. Some people go to work and there's not 50 emails waiting. There's not a manager that is waiting. They go into work. There's nothing to do. They get started. They'll look at their emails and their brain is clear and they already know that they're going to basically this day. I'm gonna call this person. I'm gonna do this, do that. I got this situation coming up. They don't understand that everybody's situation is different. Like me, like I go into work, when I was a supervisor, I would go into the field and yeah, I could, when I get to my first stop, when I look at the laptop after I finish my first meeting, my virtual meeting that we would have, I can, pause for a second, send you a text, let you know, hey, I'm good. I made it to work. I wasn't going to a physical building. I was going, to the field. So I could do that. And then I'll start my drive and go to, wherever I need to. But certain situations when I was going into the office every day, there's 50 people already there. So one person's going to pull you this way. One person's going to pull you that way. It's hey, I need you to do this. Everybody's situation is in dire need, of being handled first. Everybody thinks their situation comes first, and then that person is waiting. I get it. They're waiting for, yes, you can send a quick response or something like that. But, like you said, and it's happened to me before. How many times have you said, hey, I need to text such and such, right? And you're like, all right, I'm gonna text them. Or someone texts you and you're like, okay, I'm on a call. I'll send them a text in a little bit. In your mind, you completed that already. But you never did. And like when you look at it like 5 hours later, you're like, shit, I never even responded. So like when you respond to them, it sounds like a dumb excuse, but it's the truth. Look, I meant to respond to you, but I guess I never hit send. But half of the time, it's not that you didn't hit send, it's just you forgot to go back into the message and respond to them. It's I'm very guilty of that because like I'll see somebody or like let's say you call me, right? And we got something to do and I don't pay attention. I start working or I start doing something, I get pulled away, I get pulled into a meeting, this such and such person wants me to do something right then and there. I'm, educating or whatever. I didn't forgot you called me. And then
Mhm.
I look at the phone again, like 3 or 4 hours later, you're calling me. I'm like, shit. I was actually supposed to call Kim back. I didn't even call her. And those situations, I'm saying this to say certain people have to understand that they're not always going to be the most important person at that given time. If you have a work situation, if you have, kids, they're going to be second fiddle, or they're going to be the second, in place because you have something else in front of you. It's going to happen. So like a person coming back, you know, a week later because they're drunk and they want to bring up a situation that happened a week ago. Dude, you could have said something a week ago. We could have
Mhm.
hashed this out before you got your liquid courage in you, and you want
Mhm.
to hash a situation out while you're drunk and you want to complain. It doesn't work that way. That's why when I've always said there's two ways of knowing if someone's an alcoholic or if you can consider them an alcoholic. One, a casual drinker would drink whenever they feel like it. They don't have to drink every day. It's you can have a full bar, at your home and not touch it once. An alcoholic is a person that feels they have to drink. They may not have no liquor at home, so they're gonna run to the store, they're gonna run to a bar, they're gonna spend money, cause issues, cry. Everybody is a different type of drunk, and then you got the ones that pick fights, or the
Mm.
ones that want to remember things, like I said, 2 weeks later. To me, that's an alcoholic. Someone it's it's when it becomes a sickness or a need to have to do it.
Mhm.
Like I would say like weed is I don't think it's contagious. I mean, it could be for certain people because they want to feel that way every time. And then they move to like things like cocaine or hurricane. What did I say? Her heroin. That's a hurricane.
I
Uh,
know you're about the storm.
so
Ah.
so so heroin, things like that, those are very, very, very addictive, and those are things that if you try to get off of it, it pulls you back. Weed is something that it doesn't pull you back. You want to feel a certain way, or you want to feel, drown out, certain things, relax your mind because you had a stressful day. That's something that's more relaxing than more than like a cigarette. A cigarette is more contagious than weed would be, in my opinion, because I've done both. I smoked cigarettes before, and I dropped it like nothing. I still smoke cigars here and there, but I don't have to have a cigar. In the past, like I'd say it's been over like 12, 13 years when I last drank a beer. And at one point, I felt like every time I drank a beer, I had to have like a cigarette just to have, smoke something while I was doing it, to the point till the time I actually threw up at a club because I was smoking and it like messed me up real bad, and I just dropped it. I said, "Okay, that's it. I won't ever smoke again." And I
Mhm.
never have. I smoke a cigar here and there, but that's totally different, So that's my little soapbox. How you feel when I say
I think that when people drink, you got certain people that they drink all the time. When they get home to relax, it's how you deal with it, um, and how you are around people. If some of them are just funny drunks or whatever, I'm the type of person. It's like every blue moon when I drink, and if I do, I'm ready to go to sleep. I can't handle liquor long.
mm,
So it's like, you know, sleep time for me. But when people are functioning alcoholics and they become the type of person that become, you know, verbally abusive. They're not verbally abusive to everybody, but they become belligerent. And then
Mhm.
the person that they think that hurt them, but they love that person, they just don't know what they do to a person. They don't know what trauma you putting this person through. You don't know what this person dealt with in their past. So if they say they don't like this type of stuff, it's just because I'm not the type of person. I may yell and scream because I done tried to conversate and mention it to people before. Hey, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like that. But then when I hold it in so much, I'm gonna yell and scream. Now, I'm not gonna wait till I get drunk to do it. I'm not gonna get the courage to get drunk and be like, "Oh, you are just a horrible person." No, I'm gonna have that discussion. Now, look, this is what I'm seeing as a pattern, but I don't like to just yell and argue or start an argument. I'm gonna say something after I'm just freaking confused and don't understand why you're doing what you're doing, and I keep bringing it to you. It's just so much that I can be Mrs. Garrett from Facts of Life, with a calm demeanor. But when you get somebody with alcohol, and a person that's Mrs. Garrett, you got you got a fire that's right there that's waiting to and become a forest fire or California fire in the summertime, because Miss Garrett tired. So now she going back and forth with you, and that's where the physical abuse eventually will start coming in. And I mean, I've been there. I experienced that as a child, and to experience it in my adulthood, I don't think so. I can't. It's not something I'm willing to. If you gotta be so verbally abusive and you mad about something, you don't need to never talk to that person again. I feel. Let that person go and never talk to them. Block them. Do whatever you have to do, but don't try to cause, because you got trauma. Try to cause turmoil in somebody else's life to make them feel bad.
Yeah, I feel you gotta put yourself out of the situation. If they can't leave you alone, then you need to put yourself out that situation, because you don't need to put yourself through something you dealt with during your childhood,
Mm-hmm.
and bring that back. Like, I mean, I told you before, my dad was an alcoholic,
Mm-hmm.
but he seemed to be an alcoholic, around payday or something like that. He wasn't like a person that, I wouldn't say he was a full-time alcoholic. I would say he's a part-time alcoholic. And the reason I say this, because he had his normal job. He did what he had to do, throughout the week. It's just around payday, he got a little drunk, and he would stay out with his friends or fuck around, whatever the hell he was doing. And then he would come home and, try to wake us up. So we used to act like we were asleep, not to, you know, carry it on any longer. So he would just go to sleep and not start going back and forth with my mom or anything, or my mom would start something with him or anything like that. He would just go to sleep, and that worked 99% of the time. Most times, he would come to the room, we just act like we're asleep. He saw that we got no he got no reaction from us, so he would just go to sleep as well. So in my mind, I always said, if I ever grew up, if I chose to drink, I'm going to drink and drink at home. If I go out with friends, then I'll go out with friends, but I'm going to be that person that, I don't want to be the one that pick fights in clubs or
Mm-hmm.
in bars. I don't want to be that person that starts crying over someone, or, slurring words, or, get so drunk that I don't know where I'm going, things like that. I want to be the person that's a casual drinker. I'll have a drink here. Now, if I'm challenging somebody and we're drinking, to get drunk to see who can handle more liquor, you know, be in that environment with people who's going to help you, that are not going to, just leave you stuck with that situation or something like that, responsibly. Do that at home or something. Don't be out and then come home and want to, argue with your significant other, or start something. Hey, you know what? 3 years ago, I remember you did this. That's,
Mhm.
it's almost like what is that? What is that called? Man, I can't remember when they bring up an old case and it's too old and they can't charge
Cold
you with
case,
it. No, the other
uh,
word is like
double jeopardy.
no, it's
No,
like the time ran out.
I can't even think
I
of
I
that either.
can't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, so it's like it's too old to bring that up. It's like,
Mhm.
don't bring up a situation from last week, and because you're drunk and you're thinking about it, don't bring it up now and try to, start some shit about it. Just move on.
Mhm.
You know, can you imagine, being in a relationship with someone who can't forgive or forget,
Mhm.
and they're drunk, or they need some type of vice, and they, just look for that perfect situation. Oh, you know what, Kim? Me and you said no to me last week, and I didn't like that. Like,
Yeah.
situations that happen should
Mhm.
be handled when it happens, because like a person like me, being a Gemini, and I know, you know I act I can forget a lot of things. I can brush things under the rug,
Mhm.
to a certain point. But when you get me to that boiling point, there's not gonna be no stopping. I'm gonna let you have it. I don't have to be drunk to do that. It's
Mhm.
like when somebody picks a fight with you. You've seen these stories where somebody picks a fight with you, and you're like, nah, I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to fight with you. Just leave me alone. And they don't stop it. They just keep going, keep poking the bear until the bear punches you back.
Mhm.
It's like Mike Tyson said, everyone has, a plan till you get punched in the mouth. What are you gonna do then?
Yeah.
It's too late. You already poked the bear. He's awake. That's it. It's time to go down. So I mean, I think that the situation that you're mentioning, I mean, it's unfortunate that certain people act that way, and they have to take out their frustration on another person, and bring them down to a certain point just to make themselves feel better. I think that's very ignorant, and someone needs to, basically put them in their place. Hey, just leave me alone. Don't talk to me. If this is the way you're gonna act from here on out, let's just, just move our separate ways.
And I understand that you've been hurt. You know what I'm saying? And then whatever your hurt you deal with, that you think that me, or maybe me, being your partner, putting you through something too. And it's not that way. It's just how you perceiving it. That person coping mechanism to deal with you is to shut down and to step back. And I'm that type of person. So if I feel like I can't get through to you and you're doing stuff or believing stuff, I'm gonna shut down and shut you out. I'm gonna shut all, and that's my coping mechanism, not to go off on you, not to say nothing out of the way, and not to be a bitch. And I like how what is it, Hangover? I think it is. And Chin said, "Did you die?" Well, it was a bad day. It was horrible. This is it. But did you die?
Hmm.
You know, like, come on. It's bigger things that because this person didn't say something a certain way, or this person just not going through something else and they just mentally checking out, but they there physically, and you got a problem with that because they don't want to argue with you. They don't want to start. And I feel like men is supposed to lead the woman, not match our fucking energy. Like we the weak one, and it's okay for a man to be weak and have some things. I respect that more than I respect a man thinking he's so macho that he don't have feelings, you know. But damn, don't be a bitch about the whole situation all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? I can respect a man with emotions. I can respect a man to allow me to have my emotional breakdown. It may be, every hour, but nah, I
Hmm.
can respect that. But I can't respect that You want somebody to be your mama and you this 2-year-old boy. Nah. I'll rub your head, I'll cater to you, but god damn it now. I done raised many 2-year-old boys and that shit wasn't pretty. So what you want to raise a 2-year-old grown ass man? It's ridiculous. Get your shit together. Figure out you. Get some fucking therapy, our Latino and black men, cause you're fucking crazy. And women, we too. It ain't that bad to talk to somebody.
Yeah. So, I mean, ultimately, you know, that those people that easily get broken and easily have to find a situation to make themselves feel better.
Hmm.
Like you said, they need to go find counseling, you know, move on, get something to make them move forward and stop looking back. Stop looking in the rear view mirror, to a situation that happened already. Move forward, get on with your life. Leave that
Hmm.
person alone and stop trying to make yourself feel better. Just move on.
Hmm. Trying to make yourself feel better by making somebody else feel bad. And I start to see this shit so much. It's so fucking crazy that you see your so-called friends at times they going through shit. They want you to go through shit with them.
Mhm.
Oh, my husband is doing this. So, girl, what about your dude? Oh, you remember your dude did and said this? You remember
Mhm.
that?
Yeah,
Like,
they're trying to bring up something, negative on your side
mm,
to, make their side look, okay, like average. Or that man or woman that says, "Oh, your man, your woman, they're doing this, fuck that shit. Let's go out, let's go do this, let's go get
mm,
drunk. Let's go, and they put you in a situation that you're making it worse, instead of giving you that positive advice. They're taking you in deeper into the rabbit hole. That's why counseling is important, because that person is looking out for themselves. Ah, girl,
mm,
we should just go out, or man, let's go have a guys night out and just drink it away. And then only thing that's going to happen, let's say like the women or the men, they're going to continue drinking, pumping your head up, and putting nonsense in there. And well, guess what? You're going to come home, and that situation that was kind of calm is going to jump up to 100, because now you got that liquid courage in you. They didn't been pumping your head up. Your mind is like, if your mind was already going 100 miles an hour, once you start drinking and start talking, and people start pumping your head up, your mind doesn't know how to receive that. It ends
mm,
up going the opposite way and going to like 1000 instead of 100, or calming down. Oh, I'm just going to have a drink to calm down. No, now you have people talking and feeding your head with nonsense, and now you just went left field, which I've seen that in the past. And I think in certain situations that's happened to me. Maybe someone says, ah, man, such and such did this, such and such did that. Why you allow them to do that? Why you allow this? And that just put you in a bad mood. Even if it's not, it could be about a past relationship, and you think about it, you're like, man, that was stupid to do that. And you just start doubting yourself and start doubting all your decisions that you've made during that time. And I think, like you said, just get some damn therapy, get over it, and try to move on without making a small situation into a huge situation, and have an all-out brawl.
yeah. I think everybody has their rainstorm. Don't try to bring anybody through to your rainstorm because your situation is different than theirs, and they're gonna just encourage you or well coerce you for to do worse. So when I'm in my rainstorm, yeah, I want advice, but I don't want to bring nobody. So how your relationship going? I don't want you in my storm. This is my storm that I have to go through and figure some things out. And there's a reason I'm going through this storm that you can't make me feel better. You know what I'm saying? I have to go through it because it's my learning time. It's my season to learn or my moment to learn. And, you know, by trying to make somebody make me feel better, by saying, "Oh, well, remember he did you like this," or somebody told me that this is why this person and you had a similar situation. Well, no, it's not fucking similar at all, because you got to get the bare facts. No, go through your rainstorm by yourself, boo boo, and don't try to bring anybody in there. Now, yeah, we can give
Just
you
say boo boo.
boo boo. Yes, boo boo. Don't try to bring nobody in there. Yes, you don't want to see anybody that you're associated with having a hard time or going through anything, and you would, apologize, but don't think that they can make it better. You're going through that for a reason. You need to learn something. Are you a selfish motherfucker? Yes, you are. So you're going through your storm to learn not to be a selfish motherfucker. Are you a person that thinks things supposed to go your way? Yes, people are leaving your life because you got to learn to understand that you can't be the center of the fucking attention all the motherfucking time. I can be in a box by my goddamn self and be so fucking happy than thinking everybody have to make me the center of attention. No, because I don't want nobody to feel what I feel. That's not fair to that person. Whatever I'm going through, I don't want to have them feel that. Now, if I'm going through it and I want to talk about it, yes, but I don't want you to feel what I'm feeling, because this is something that you don't want to impose on anybody. Now, do I want to get it off? Do I want to release? Yeah, okay, I'm not in therapy right now, but you're a person, an ear of listening. That's it. I don't need no advice. I don't need nothing. I just need somebody to listen. Let me get it off my chest for a moment. And that's simple as that. And I'm the type of person, I'm such a giver, and I'm such want everybody to be okay. And I'm just that type of person that I be just taking on everybody's stuff. Oh, you going through this? I don't, no. You got to go through your seasons. You got to go through your rainstorms. And you can't substitute it by getting drunk, shaking your ass in the club, thinking it's gonna go away. Oh, I'm over it. No, you just covered it up. It's still there. You just covered
Yep.
it up.
All right. Look at that. So, in closing, just remember when you're trying to provide some advice, to a friend, I'd say the first thing is, just advise them to seek help. Seek a shoulder that's a biased shoulder that can listen to them. Let's say even if it's not, therapy or someone that'll listen to you, find that excuse me, find that one person that listens to you but's not responding just to give you an answer. They're genuinely trying to help you and giving you that correct advice, because in this day and time, anybody can say anything, can give you the bad advice or try to steer you wrong. You don't know who's your real friend, who's trying to lead you the wrong way, who really cares about you. If you can't seek a friend, or you don't have a friend that can help, find professional help. Most jobs, we said this before, most jobs have some type of situation, some type of counselor that you can reach out to, that can give you some type of information and can perform some type of psych eval, to get you past, this situation. And then, like we said in the beginning, be sure that you are listening to, give the proper response, listen to not just to answer what they're saying, listen to give them, the correct feedback, at that given time. And with that, I want to make sure that you guys are checking out our Instagram. I know we've been kind of slow posting anything. I got this person named Kim that don't play with it. She
Don't
never
play with
goes
it. Don't
on
play
the
with it. No, stop.
but
I'm
make sure
sorry.
if you decide you would like to comment on any of the situations we have talked about, you can comment on here on YouTube, or on any of our social medias, or even, on our podcast, or you want to be a guest, please do that. Feel free to reach out to one of us, um, at Even Me Podcast, and then, just come on the show. We can talk about it. Anything you want to say, Kim?
No, yeah. So just to let everybody know, no, whatever someone has to say, there's no wrong, how can I say, way of saying it. Everybody has their own opinion, and we're very open to everyone's opinion here. So definitely, come on, let us know.
Come on, we listen to everybody here. Everybody
Everybody.
has an opinion here. No matter what you say, no matter how much you hate Kim or dislike her.
Oh my God.
All
Yeah.
right, y'all take it easy.